Taurus, welcome to your general reading. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you spending this time with me. This is for any Taurus placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. If you are a cross watcher, you are also welcome here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull some cards from the Tarot Nefertari deck, and then for clarification, if needed, I will either pull from, actually I'll just pull from my Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. I did do a career reading for Taurus, so if you're interested in a career and finance reading specifically, be sure to check that out. It should have recently been posted around the same time as this video, or sometime around the time of this video's posting. All right, so with that being said, Spirit, please give me clear and concise messages for Taurus as we embark on this journey of divination together. Thank you for this protection and guidance you provide, as well as the clear and concise messages that you give me to help Taurus navigate themselves on this spiritual journey. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Ashe, Amin. All right, so let's get into it. Happy new calendar year. I was saying before, I like to use the new calendar year as kind of a testing ground for any new things I want to kick off in the new astrological year, which is at the end of March. All right, so past, present, future. Let's get right into it. Okay, so you're coming out of a very tiring position. In the past, you have the Nine of Wands. Like, you went through a lot. Maybe there was a person or a situation or a group of people stressing you out, and you felt like you were the last man or last woman standing. You also have the Knight of Cups or Knight of Chalices. And you change your perspective. You've become more emotionally in tune. You become more emotionally ready because of this pretty unsavory experience in the recent past that seems to have taken a lot out of you, but also put a lot into you in the form of wisdom. My grandmother used to always say that wisdom is really just pain that has been left to like ripen or ferment. All right, in the present, what's going on? Very fair. Four of Swords. Looks like you are taking a mental break. You're taking a moment to cultivate clarity in your life. You're taking a moment to reflect on your experiences. Is there anything else that I need to know for Taurus at this time? Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, you're leaving behind a really, really tough chapter. Like, you were probably down bad. You might have been broke. You might not have been making as much money as you used to make. You were in a pretty tough time that you're reflecting on. So this is, even though it's in the present position, this is what you're reflecting on with the Four of Swords energy, reflection. You're reflecting on some really tough times you went through. You went through a period of lack, a period of material, as well as emotional instability due to whatever this Nine of Wands, this source of stress was in your life that you've let go of. But now you're pulling and extracting all of these lessons from, now that there's a bit of distance between you and the situation, seeing as how you have seemed to end it. In the future, what can we look forward to? The Three of Cups. So we are now in this energy of manifesting. I love the artwork on these cards. Isn't it just fun? Isn't that fun? But the Three of Chalices, or the Three of Cups, is very much an energy of manifesting. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't like nudity on the card, but there isn't. You're in this energy of emotional reinvigoration, and you're opening yourself up to being able to manifest. You may also be joining forces and finding new community. Maybe you've started going to a new group setting, and you're finding your tribe, your flock within the tribe, as it were. All right. Okay. So you leave behind a really, really tough situation. The Ten of Wands, again, it doesn't seem like something that is in the, it's not a negative. You're learning how to put down the burden that you once carried. you're learning, you're learning that now because you're actively distilling and extracting all of the lessons that you went through in the past. Now, as you go into the future, the 10 of Wands here, you're learning that you actually are not responsible for carrying the burden that you thought you were responsible for carrying in the past. And you ended up very depleted as a result. And in understanding this and reallocating your energy, you have the Chariot, which comes in for you. You might also be dealing with Cancerian energy. You may have Cancer placements in your chart, or you may be dealing with somebody in a very tight, close-knit manner that may have that as well. But moreover, you have this swift energy of action coming into your life, this almost a cleaning out of stagnant energy. And with it comes the 10 of Pentacles. So ultimate material abundance, whether it's in the form of money or some other material asset, you are walking right smooth into, abundance. You're walking right into stability, into safety, into what it is that you've been looking for in the past that just seemed to elude you. And this is what eventually got you to change your mind and to get yourself into a more reflective position in the present. Can you tell me why exactly the 9 of Wands is here? Like what? Thank you. The Fool. Okay, so you were dealing with a new situation. This was not something that you had previously encountered. So this might have been a personality type that you had never encountered before, or a situation that you had just never seen before in this exact configuration. You didn't really know how to handle it. Not necessarily because you were inept, but more so because it was just so out of left field what you were dealing with. Is there anything else that you can tell me at this time? Is there anything else that you can tell me at this time regarding the 9 of Wands specifically? The Fool also represents taking on new journeys, and you definitely, around this time when you were going through this mental turmoil with this situation, it was unforeseen, but at the same time, it also equipped you to take a bold new step, which was you changing the way that you saw your emotional standing, the way that you went about your emotional regulation. You stopped cussing people out as much, and you started taking note and moving accordingly and saving your peace. And so as you move into the present, you're now able to retain these tactics so that you can focus on metabolizing what you have actually been through, so you can draw the lesson out. Because one thing I'm getting off of you, Taurus, you're really not trying to go through this karmic lesson again. You've learned the lesson. This might not even be your first time going through this karmic lesson, to be honest. And you're very tired. So you're like, all right, fine. Like, I've learned the lesson. I get it. I'm cool. All right, I'm good. I don't want to do this again. You also have the Knight of Wands here. And so you, again, have decided you're going to show up differently because the situation was just so unforeseen. You dealt with something that was completely new. Actually, I do have some love cards, some love oracle message cards. I'm going to use them, not for the sake of, this is not a love reading, this is general, but these cards do give me a good understanding of interpersonal dynamics and whether it's one-on-one or whether it's group on one or group on group. And so I want to just get a better understanding of what exactly was going on in your past position, so that hopefully it helps you in the present as you're in this energy and space of reflection and retrospection and introspection, so that we can get to a place of clarity and make sure that you are aiming for that target of the 10 of Pentacles and that you land squarely where you intend to. So what the heck was going on with this 9 of Wands? Like, can we please understand a little bit more about the dynamic so that we can make sure we are extracting the lessons that are meant to be extracted, the lessons that are meant for Taurus? All right, love. Unconditional love, self-love and wholeness, affection and attraction, selflessness. So you were showing up very authentically and earnestly is what I'm getting. You were not coming sideways. You were not, you didn't come underhanded. You were very authentic in how you showed up, whether this was an interpersonal romantic relationship, whether it was platonic, whether it was family, whether it was at work. It doesn't really matter where it was. You showed up authentically and you were doing things from a sense of love. You were doing things from a sense of care and compassion for others. And that might not have been reciprocated. We have heartbroken, deeply hurt and sad, feeling lost, grieving in despair, and breakup. So you were dealing with pretty much the opposite energy. You were not dealing with somebody or something that was dealing with you in the way that you dealt with it. So your energy was not reciprocated and it stressed you out. You also have cutting out, separation, stop the pattern, and silent treatment. So this might have been somebody that was a very ineffective communicator, maybe a very emotionally immature individual or group of individuals. And so it was very stressful dealing with this kind of person all the time, or this group of people all the time. Is there anything else that I can... Thank you. Also has sunglasses, watching, looking, perception. Could even be stalking. I'm not really picking up on the stalking part, but this is what the card looks like. And it looks like in the past you were in this space where you were observing someone's negative patterns, but they were also observing yours. And it seems like they were projecting a lot is what I'm picking up on. This was somebody that no matter how authentic and how honest and how truthful and loyal and honest or loving you might have showed up, it really wouldn't have mattered. There's nothing that you could have done because this person's perception, their lens that they look at the world through was smudged. The lens that we all have that's shaped by our experiences, where we've been, what we do, who we are, who we know, who we associate with, the things that we've, done, hope to do, our culture, our upbringing, all these things shape this lens that we see the world through. So you can never remove the lens, but you can try to clear it up as much as possible by adding in additional perspectives to inform that lens. And this person's lens was very cloudy. Like, they were very ignorant. They were very backward minded, very much closed minded. This was somebody that they would watch other people and they would find any reason to see rejection or to see incompetence or see negative traits in anything they were observing. They could definitely find a way to turn the most positive thing negative in a quick second. And so this was just not somebody that was able to give you what you needed. We have self-indulgence here, so self-worth and value, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. This negative experience, this unsavory experience, is what eventually pushed you into this current era that you're in, this self-worth and value cultivation period that you're in. So now you're in an energy of, like I said before, reflecting on your experiences and getting a better understanding of what you went through, why you went through it, what part you played, what part the other individual or individuals played, and what you can learn and do differently next time if that is what the situation calls for. So what can you tell me about the present moment? I don't really see another energy in the present moment. You're heavy in reflection right now. Heavy. You might be reading a lot more as well, talking to people less, scrolling less, reading more is what I'm getting, listening to audiobooks, things of that nature. You're not really, there's nothing else to say. All right, thank you. All right. So let's go ahead and pull a couple of Keepers of the Light Oracle cards so we can get some advice for how to align ourselves and align our mental and physical efforts so that we are able to exact the kind of transformation that we are looking for. Hopefully this message has been helpful for you so far. If it has been, please let me know by liking the video. Let me know in the comments. Share tips amongst yourselves. If there are certain frequencies that you like to listen to at night, or certain types of meditations that you like to do, or things of that nature. I would love for this to become a community where we're able to help each other on our growth journeys, and we're able to advise each other out of a sense of love and compassion and empathy, not only for ourselves, but also for others. So yeah, let me know. All right, what advice do we have for Taurus at this time? Ooh, I see a card flew out. Archangel Michael, trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels, stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. So right now, you're in this very heavy energy of reflection and introspection and retrospection. And so just remembering that the concerns that you might have carried with you from your past are not really concerns to keep with you on your person, your spiritual person in the present, because it can block your ability to bring in what you are trying to call in, which you will be walking into in the near future, this 10 of Pentacles energy. So just find a way to release those burdens, whether it's journaling, meditation, prayer, singing, hula hooping in the sun. I don't really care how you find it, just find it. And keep yourself balanced as much as you can in that way. But you are protected. We also have Gaia, Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. Yeah, keeping your head on your shoulders. You're a Taurus, so am I. So if the weather permits, which in a lot of places I understand it does not, if the weather permits, try to get outside, put your feet in the earth somehow. And if you're not able to do that, stand on some type of natural material, whether it's like wood floors, stone, something natural. Anything. You want a natural fiber. Stand on it and just try to ground yourself for a little bit. Visualize yourself in a grassy plain. Lay back in your bed and visualize yourself in a grassy plain. If you're not able to go outside and do these things, or if you don't have access to these types of materials, right? But you want to put yourself mentally in this very grounded, emotionally stable place. And lastly, thank you, we have Krishna. We have devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. So remembering to affirm yourself that you are loved unconditionally. The art on these cards is gorgeous. That you are loved unconditionally, that you are cared for, that you are protected and provided for. Remembering these things is part of what will set you up spiritually and emotionally to be able to cultivate. It's my dog. She's just waking up. And walk into this era of success that is calling your name. So with that being said, Taurus, thank you so much for being here. I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. You are on the come up, and I'm very proud of you for leaving behind what does not work for or resonate with you anymore and walking into this era of abundance that you very much deserve. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, morning, afternoon, night. Be well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.